Alright guys, so I'm gonna get ready to go here. I've got the ZX6R up on stands. I'm gonna do a how-to video for how to change your oil later today or maybe tomorrow. But for now, I'm gonna take this new bike out for a ride. So this is my my new Kawasaki Z125. It's a 2017, and I fucking love it. I've got about 200 miles on it right now. I'm gonna give you guys my first impressions on it, and we shall see how that goes, I suppose. Alright guys, I gotta go put some gas in this thing. The fuel light, as you can see, is blinking. I could probably still go about 50 miles, but I don't want to risk it. So this is just gonna be like my first impressions video, and kind of like an introduction to the bike for you guys. Like I said, I've got 200 miles in on it already. I had some other videos filmed, but this one is going to be the first one that I release with the Z125. So I guess we'll start off when you turn the ignition on. Get a nice little hum. All your stuff comes on. It's got a gear indicator, a speedometer, an odometer, and a fuel gauge. And then it has the tachometer there. It's an analog one, so that's pretty awesome. And let's fire it up. It's quieter than a fucking mouse fart. It's awesome. Okay, let's go get some gas. First impressions of the bike are that it's fun as shit. Me and Misfit Midget have gone on a couple adventures so far on it, with him on his FZ07 and me on this bike, and we were just gooning around Salem like crazy. It's so much fun. We're going up and down alleyways and just like going up and down in parkades and racing around, and it was a good time, jumping off curbs and shit. Caught air a couple times on this, and I've already learned how to wheelie it. Not super well, but I can get the front wheel up, which is, it makes it that much more fun. You just sit in here, and then you're like, bitch, I want to wheelie, and then you're just like, and you pop a wheelie. It's fucking amazing. I think the best part about it is that it costs less than $5 to fill up the tank, and I can get 200 miles out of it. It's fucking amazing. It does 0 to 45 pretty quick. It's only a 4-speed, and after 45 it's definitely 1 mile an hour at a time at climbing, which isn't bad. I knew that getting into this bike, that it wasn't going to be a speed demon. It's going to be my around town hooligan machine, and for that it is perfect. Alright, so I don't know if the Grom is the same way, because I know that the Grom has dual front brakes, but that is one of my only two complaints about this bike, is that the front brake is unstoppable for the most part. I'm sure you could do it, but it's going to take quite a bit of squeezing, and I don't even know. Like, I've tried a couple times, but I just can't get the back wheel to come up. And again, the new brakes, maybe once they wear down a little bit, it'll be a little bit easier, but for now, it's not going to happen. My other complaint, which is not a big deal because I'm going to get rid of them anyways, is the mirrors. These mirrors blow giant fucking dick hole, and basically when I look at them, all I can see is my arms, and so I'm going to get some bar-in mirrors. That way they're a little bit lower. Maybe I can find some that go under the handlebar like the 48 had, because I fucking love those things. I think the coolest thing about this bike is the number of people that just stare at you and nod and fucking wave and point and laugh. It's awesome. It's gonna be great for the channel, just the facial expressions that I can get when I'm sitting next to people at a red light or something like that. Just look over and give them a stare down or whatever. That'll be awesome. So what ended up happening was I was religiously searching all of our local Cowie dealers, and Power Yamaha in Sublimity, Oregon, their website, it showed up. It wasn't there the day before. It was just kind of the stock photo. So I called and I was like, hey, do you guys have the Z125 in? And they were like, oh, you know, I don't think we do have one. And I was like, well, it's showing up online, would you mind checking for me? And they were like, okay, no problem. So I sat on hold for a little bit, and then A couple minutes later, they got back on the phone and they were like, so we have one, it's still in the crate. It still has to be taken out and assembled and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, I want to buy it. And they were like, oh, okay, well, we can start that process now and it'll probably be ready for you tomorrow. And I was like, okay, cool. So I told them the deal was that I was going to be trading the bike in, which I obviously kept the ZX6R, and my bike that I did not keep was the Harley. The Harley was a good bike, but it wasn't for me. Somebody else will enjoy it a lot more than I ever would have. So I traded that in, got this, got some cash. Now I can work on my Jeep project some more. It was a good move on my part, I think. I probably could have waited and got a little bit more for the Harley, but you know, it's just a couple $100 bucks. That's how the deal happened and how I have a Z125. Gotta stop and get some fucking teriyaki roll or some shit. It's so much fun. Like, everything about this bike is fucking hilarious and awesome at the same time. The styling on it is fucking beautiful. So yeah, we'll continue this in a little bit. I'm gonna get some food. All right, I got my California roll. Yeah, back to the bike. I don't really know what else to say about it. First impression, guys. Like, my first impression of it is that it's fucking awesome. It's so much fun to just goon around on. I found myself, you know, mobbing around town, just like, woo! Like I said, me and shit. Better run that shit. If you guys are thinking about getting one, get one. There's no reason for you to not get one. It's so much fun. There's never a second that I don't have a smile on my face on this bike. I would say, honestly, I probably get seen more on this bike, even though it's smaller, than I do on the ZX6R, even though it's fucking bright green and loud as shit. But people see the tiny tires somehow. They see the little itty-bitty wheels and they're like, oh my god, that thing's fucking amazing. And they want to like make eye contact with you and like motion towards you and tell you how awesome it looks and all that kind of shit. So visibility wise, it's actually better than any other bike I've ever had. I'll have a full review probably here pretty quick. I'm gonna wait till I hit 500 miles on it. I like to actually have some ride time in on the bike before I completely do a 100% review on it for you guys. So 250 more miles. I'll probably do a how to change the oil on this little thing too at that milestone. And yeah, just let me know if you guys have any questions about the bike. Thanks for checking this video out, guys, and make sure you hit that like button. Yeah, catch you later, guys. Peace.